My name is Bobby Maximus, and yes, I fought in the UFC. Yes, Men's Health named me one of the 100 fittest men of all time, and I wrote a best-selling book for Men's Health called Maximus Body. But today we're going to forget all about that. I am coming to you as a 46-year-old man because today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 exercises that you can do to build muscle if you're over 40 years of age. And here's the kicker. All you need to do these exercises is a bench and a set of dumbbells. We're going to keep it simple because the number one thing that happens when you're in your 40s, you're time restricted. You got kids, you got a wife, you got a career. You probably don't have hours and hours a day to spend at a gym. So we're going to go over 5 exercises that really you could do anywhere, anyhow, anytime, and they're not going to eat up your budget in terms of time, equipment, or money paying for gym memberships and all that other kind of stuff. Let's face it, you're not 20 anymore. One of the most common mistakes I see 45-year-old men make is they suffer from the male delusion. They talk about how they used to bench press 3 plates in high school. They're walking around thinking they're 19 and 20 years old. That's not you anymore if you're watching this video. You've got to keep things safe. You want to protect your joints. You want to make sure you're not getting hurt, and you want to do something that you're actually capable of finishing. I see all these people try to hop in a workout routine, and they go balls to the wall day one, and then they're so sore for the next week they can't do a thing. So we're going to make this accessible to you in terms of tailoring this to your body's needs. And with dumbbells, dumbbells are safe on the joints. They allow for an enhanced range of motion, and all you need is a couple of light dumbbells, and by keeping the weight relatively light, we're going to keep you safe. So I'm going to demo 5 different exercises that we're going to put together in a circuit afterwards. The first exercise is just going to be a dumbbell bench press. All you need is 2 relatively light dumbbells for these. I'm using 35s. Listen, this isn't anywhere near my 1 rep max, but I'm assuming if you're over 40 and you're watching this video, you don't need to push your limits like going to a max. You just need to get back in shape. So you're going to take your dumbbells, you're going to lay back on the bench, you're going to start with the dumbbells just touching the sides of your chest. I want a full range of motion here. When you're in your 40s, full range of motion and form are going to be far more important than the actual weight you're lifting. You're going to press all the way up to full extension. You're going to pause briefly, and you're going to lower nice and slow and in control. That's going to be 1 rep. Your next exercise is going to be a goblet squat. All right, I love the squat. Nothing is more primal than a squat, and everybody needs to squat more. The thing I love about the goblet squat, it's going to keep you nice and upright. I've got the dumbbell. It's under my chin. I'm going to squat down to just below parallel, and I'm going to come all the way back up. Again, range of motion is important. It's really important when you do this movement to make sure your knees are tracking in line with your toes, to make sure your core is activated, and make sure your body stays nice and upright as you squat. One of the things I love about the goblet squat is a lot of people, when they squat, they start to pitch forward. If you've got a weight under your chin, it's going to fall. So the movement is self-correcting. So again, knees tracking in line with the toes, core activated, body upright. That is the goblet squat. Next exercise. Most men don't do enough overhead pressing, which leads to all kinds of shoulder problems. I know all kinds of 40-year-olds that have shoulder issues. We're going to start correcting that by doing some overhead press. So I've got some light dumbbells. I'm using 20s. And all you're going to do with your hands facing each other, your palms facing each other, you're going to press overhead, and you're going to lower nice and slow. You're going to press overhead, and you're going to lower nice and slow. Again, range of motion is everything. You want to press these from your shoulders. You want to press out till your arms are completely straight. You want to keep your spine in line, your core activated, and you're going to lower the dumbbells. And now for another leg exercise. I always say you don't want to look like the guy who skips leg day, but also legs are the most functional muscle group you have. If you look at any sport, it's from here to here. And if you look at a 40-year-old, you might be involved in pickleball, you might be involved in recreational basketball, you might be playing tennis. You want to have strong legs. If sports aren't your thing, what about hiking? What about playing with your kids? What about doing all the things you love? Leg strength is important. Now, there are some people who squat. There are some people that leg press. There are some people that use a leg extension machine. But the number one area of neglect I see in leg training is single leg work. All of those sports, all those activities I mentioned, they're single leg dominant. So we're going to do some single leg training. And my favorite exercise for that is just a simple reverse lunge. You're going to stand with your feet beside each other. You're going to lunge backwards. You're going to touch your knee to the ground. You're going to make sure that your front shin is vertical. You're going to come back up and you're going to repeat. Now, a lot of people ask me why the reverse lunge. I like the reverse lunge better because as you step back, you have to control your weight on the way down, and it forces you to focus on your form and the musculature. A lot of people, when they lunge forward, they just fall into the movement. The shin is not vertical. There's more pressure on my knee. My heel comes off the ground, and I'm not doing any work. So I'd prefer when you lunge for you to do reverse lunges. Now for the final exercise, the humble, the underrated, the classic push-up. I absolutely love push-ups, but here's the kicker. I see people cheat a lot with these. I want a full range of motion, all right? So your hands are roughly shoulder width apart. You're going to lower yourself down to the ground. You're going to touch your chest to the ground. That's where the full range of motion comes into play. And you're going to press yourself all the way up. I also want to make sure there's a tight line from my head to my feet. I don't want to have any sagging, and I don't want my butt in the air like I'm doing yoga. Just a nice tight line, slow, controlled, full range of motion, and that is the push-up. With these 5 exercises, we're going to put them together in a circuit that may be the only workout you ever need again. So for this circuit, using these 5 exercises, we're going to do the bench press, we're going to do a goblet squat, we're going to do an overhead press, we're going to do a reverse lunge, and we're going to do a push-up. For this, again, all you need is a bench and a couple of sets of dumbbells so it's accessible to everybody. It's going to be a 10-to-1 ladder of each movement. So we're going to do 10 bench presses, 10 goblet squats, 10 overhead presses, 10 reverse lunges, and 10 push-ups. We're doing this for time. We want to get a bit of a cardiovascular effect as well and work some strength endurance, some muscular endurance. So we're going to do this as fast as possible, but here's the kicker. I said it at the start of the video. I'm going to say it again. The most important thing when you're in your 40s, especially if you're just trying to get fit again, and let's face it, if you're watching this video, you're probably not an elite athlete. You're not 20 years old anymore. You want to make sure form matters, form counts. So we're doing it as quickly as we can, but you can't cheat form. Everything's got to be strict. So with that in mind, let's get started. I got my dumbbells. I'm going to do 10 bench presses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'm going to drop those to the ground. And now I'm going to pick my dumbbell up. A little tip, don't bend over to pick the dumbbell up. Listen, that's how you're going to hurt your back. Make sure you pick stuff up properly. Make sure you respect the weight. I know a lot of guys who've blown their back getting a soup can out of the cupboard. Don't be that dude. Check your ego at the door. You got the weight under your chin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're gonna go on to the overhead press. We're gonna pick these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're done with these. Reverse lunges. 1. Hey, Bobby, that was 2. No, if you do it the right, you got to do it the left. Double count. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Notice the full range of motion, keeping my body upright. 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8. 8 is the longest part of the workout. 9, 9, 10, 10. And you can get right down into the push-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's one round of the exercise, 10 reps of each. Now to finish off, we're going to do 9 reps of each. So 9 bench presses, 9 goblet squats, 9 overhead presses, 9 reverse lunges on each leg, 9 push-ups, 8 of each, 7 of each, 6 of each, 5 of each, all the way to 1 rep of each. So that circuit, a couple of things. Number 1, it packs an incredible amount of work into a short period of time. You could probably get that done in under 30 minutes, and you'll get 55 bench presses, 55 goblet squats, you get 55 overhead presses, you get 110 total lunges, because we're doing, double count, 1 on each leg, 55 on each leg. Then you get 55 push-ups, an incredible amount of work, so it's going to be effective. It's going to take you under 30 minutes. All you need is a bench, a couple of light sets of dumbbells, and it's accessible. You can get this done anywhere. You can do it at a gym. You can do it at home. So this will be your go-to workout. You could do this if you're 40 years old and you're trying to get back in shape. You could do this 3 times a week. You could do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Do a little bit of a run, do a little bit of a walk, do a little bit of a swim, do a little bit of a bike ride to focus on your cardio, because you certainly don't want to neglect that. And I promise you, you follow a program like that, you will get into the best shape you've been in years. That is your go-to workout and your go-to 5 exercises if you're 40 years old or over.